Hey everyone, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
It's like, imagine getting an invitation, right?
Okay.
But it's not just any invitation. This one promises you a life-changing amount of money.
Sounds tempting.
Oh, it is. But there's a catch. You got to go to this creepy old castle, and it's got a seriously dark past, like a brutal mass murder kind of past.
Starting to see the catch now.
Yeah, exactly. And you're going to be stuck there with a bunch of other people who got the same invitation. And let me tell you, these folks, they all have secrets.
Well, it's like a pressure cooker of suspicion from the get-go.
You got it. That's exactly what C.A. Lynch's The Traitors is all about.
Ah, psychological thriller. I love a good mind game.
Me too. And this one is so well done, it just grabs you from the first page and doesn't let go.
What did you find particularly gripping about it?
Well, first off, the setting. Beechwood Castle, the place where it all goes down, just oozes this unsettling vibe.
Right, you can practically feel the weight of its history, all those dark secrets lingering in the air.
Exactly. And then there's the characters. Lynch is a master at slowly revealing their backstories, giving you just enough to make you question everyone's motives.
So you're constantly second-guessing yourself, trying to figure out who you can trust.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what makes it so addictive. You're on the edge of your seat the whole time, wondering who's going to snap first.
Now, were there any parts that didn't quite work for you?
Maybe just one small thing. At the very beginning, I felt like the overall purpose of why everyone's gathered at the castle was a little unclear. Like before the main conflict really kicks in.
I see. You wanted a bit more clarity on the bigger picture right away.
Yeah, just a tad. But honestly, it's a minor quibble. Once things get rolling, it's full speed ahead.
And did you find all the characters equally compelling?
For the most part, yes. The main players are incredibly well developed. You really get a sense of their personalities, their flaws, their desires.
It's always a challenge for authors to flesh out every single character, especially in an ensemble cast.
Right. And I guess there was one minor character that felt a bit less explored compared to the others.
Makes sense. Sometimes those secondary characters serve more as plot devices or foils for the main ones.
Yeah, could be. But overall, I was totally hooked. The suspense is relentless. And just when you think you've figured it out, Lynch throws in a twist that completely throws you off.
So it's a page-turner for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I'd give The Traitors a solid 4 out of 5 stars.
That's a great rating. A testament to Lynch's ability to weave a captivating and chilling tale.
Exactly. Now, today, we're going to focus on this really fascinating aspect of the book.
Hey!
That creepy invitation we talked about?
The one that lures them to the castle?
Yep, that's the one. We're going to take a closer look at how some of the key players react when they first receive it.
Interesting. Their initial responses can reveal a lot about their personalities and motivations, right?
Absolutely. It's like a window into their souls, What are they hoping for? What are they afraid of? And what are they willing to do to get what they want?
And since they're all dealing with their own personal struggles, this invitation could be seen as a potential solution, a way out.
Exactly. So let's start with Stacy. We first meet her in chapter 1, and things aren't going so well for her.
What's happening in her life?
Well, she runs this true crime channel called The Forgotten and the Lost.
Ooh, catchy.
Right. But there was this whole controversy, like a fabricated audio clip that ended up tarnishing the channel's credibility.
Ouch. That's gotta hurt, especially in the world of true crime where credibility is everything.
For sure. And it also put a strain on her relationship with her co-host, Yan.
So she's already in a vulnerable position when this invitation arrives.
Exactly. And get this, the invitation wasn't even addressed to her directly. It was addressed to The Forgotten and the Lost, like the channel itself.
That's odd. Almost like it's meant for the channel as an entity, not necessarily for Stacy personally.
Right. And there's this really telling moment when she finds the invitation. She immediately hides it, folding it up super small and stuffing it in her pocket.
Ah, so she's being secretive about it. Maybe she's not sure what to make of it yet. Or maybe she's already feeling a sense of, I don't know, protectiveness over it.
Totally. And, she even describes it as one small flicker of hope in the dimming cave of my existence.
Wow, that's pretty powerful imagery. It suggests she's feeling lost, desperate even.
Yeah, and despite all the shame she feels about the scandal and the potential embarrassment of going to Beechwood, she can't help but be drawn to the possibility of winning that money.
It's a lifeline for her, a chance to escape the mess she's in.
And it's interesting because the thought of talking to Jan about it, since they both got the invitation, does cross her mind. But she quickly dismisses it, telling herself it's every man or woman for themselves.
Oh, wow. That's a huge red flag right there. It shows that she's already thinking in terms of competition, not collaboration.
Exactly. And that kind of sets the tone for how she approaches everything at the castle.
Makes sense. So she's already operating from a place of distrust and self-preservation.
Totally. Okay, now let's move on to Lolly. Her story is, well, it's heartbreaking.
What's her deal?
Brace yourself. She's the sole survivor of the 1996 Beechwood Castle massacre.
Oh my gosh, that's awful.
I know, right? And she gets her invitation on Halloween of all days.
Talk about adding insult to injury.
Seriously. So, as you can imagine, her reaction is pretty intense.
I bet.
She completely freaks out, like rips the invitation to shreds and throws it in the trash.
A totally understandable reaction. It's like a reminder of the worst day of her life.
Exactly. And for her, Beechwood Castle is not some mysterious, alluring place. It's a symbol of unimaginable trauma.
Of course. So why would she even consider going back?
Well, that's the thing. The prize money, it's $1 million.
That's a lot of money.
It is. And Lolly's in a tough spot financially. She's taking care of her father, who has dementia.
So she's dealing with a lot of emotional and financial burdens.
Big time. And even though the thought of going back to Beechwood makes her sick, she can't help but think about what that money could do for her and her dad.
Right. It's a classic dilemma. Do you confront your deepest fears for a chance at a better life?
Exactly. And that internal struggle is what makes her character so compelling.
It's a tough choice, no doubt. Let's move on to Cornelius. What's his story?
Okay, so Cornelius is an architect.
Okay.
And he's made some, well, let's just say some bad choices in the past.
What kind of bad choices?
He was caught peeping into a client's bedroom.
Oh, yikes. That's not good.
Nope, not good at all. And it cost him his job.
And probably his reputation, too, I imagine.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And his marriage is on the rocks because of it. His wife, Patricia, is understandably not too happy with him.
So he's lost his career, his reputation, and his relationship is hanging by a thread.
Pretty much. And then the invitation arrives.
Talk about a potential escape hatch.
Right. But his initial reaction is kind of interesting. He almost wants to just leave without telling Patricia, like make her sweat a little.
That's kind of petty, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But I think it speaks to how much resentment he's harboring. Like he feels wronged by the whole situation.
Makes sense. He's probably feeling angry and isolated.
Totally. But here's the thing about Cornelius.
Yeah.
He's fascinated by Beechwood Castle. As an architect, he sees the potential in it, the history, the architecture.
So it's not just about the money for him.
Not entirely. I think there's a part of him that genuinely wants to be involved in restoring the castle, like bringing it back to its former glory.
So he's got this professional ambition mixed in with his desire for a fresh start.
Right. And then there's Penelope Jewell. She's a true crime author.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but her career is kind of in a slump.
What's going on with her?
Well, she's really into this cult angle when it comes to crime, but she keeps getting rejected by publishers.
Ah, so she's struggling to find her niche.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then her husband, Robert, finally gives her the invitation. He'd been holding on to it for a while.
Why was he holding on to it?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe he thought she'd be freaked out by it, given her line of work.
Could be. Or maybe he was hoping to go himself.
Maybe. But anyway, Penelope is furious when she finally gets the invitation. Not because of the castle or the potential danger, but because Robert kept it from her.
That's kind of hilarious. She's more mad about the delay than the actual invitation.
Right. And I think that tells you a lot about her personality.
Nerve.
She's ambitious, driven, and she sees Beechwood as a golden opportunity.
A chance to write the ultimate true crime story, perhaps.
Exactly. She's already imagining the book deal, the interviews, the whole shebang.
So she's not just going for the money, she's going for the story.
Totally. And finally, there's Bonnie. Now, Bonnie is a fascinating character. She's a former psychic and con artist who spent a decade in federal prison.
Okay, that's a lot to unpack.
Right. And now she's trying to live a straight life with her sister, Sue. But when she hears about the reopening of Beechwood Castle, she feels this overwhelming sense of destiny.
Like she's meant to be there.
Exactly. She even has these vivid dreams about the castle.
That's intriguing. Maybe her past as a psychic is making her believe there's something more to this invitation.
Maybe. But she's also aware of the dangers, of falling back into her old ways.
It's got to be tough to resist those urges, especially when there's so much at stake.
It is. And there's another layer to her story. Her daughter, Cecilia.
What about her?
Well, Bonnie lost custody of Cecilia after she went to prison.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
It is. And, I think that unresolved trauma plays a big role in her decision to go to Beechwood.
Like she's trying to redeem herself, not just for herself, but for her daughter, too.
Exactly. So there you have it. 5 very different people, all drawn to Beechwood Castle for their own reasons.
And each carrying their own baggage, their own secrets.
It's a recipe for disaster, really.
Oh, absolutely. And Lynch is a master at creating this atmosphere of tension and suspicion that just builds and builds until you're like on the verge of a nervous breakdown.
Uh-huh, yeah. And, the invitation itself is like a catalyst. It forces these people to confront their pasts, their fears, their desires.
And it sets the stage for a whole lot of drama and betrayal.
Oh, for sure. But we're not going to spoil anything else. You'll have to read the book to find out what happens.
Absolutely. So if you're looking for a gripping psychological thriller that will keep you guessing until the very end, we highly recommend The Traitors.
Yes. And be sure to let us know what you think in the comments.
We'd love to hear your theories and reactions.
And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like and subscribe for more discussions on captivating stories.
We have new deep dives every week, so be sure to hit that notification bell.
You can find a link to buy The Traitors on Amazon in the description below.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.